Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayanam
Narayanam
Namaskrityam
Namaskrityam.
Naranchaiva Narottamam
Naranchaiva
Naram
Narottamam
Devim
Narottamam.
Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim
Devim
Saraswatim
Saramsyam.
Tato Jaya Mudiraye
Tato
Tato
Jaya
Jaya
Mudiraye
Mudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam
Nityam
Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavata Sevaya.
Bhagavate Uttamasloke
Bhagavate
Bhagavate Uttama
Uttamaste
Sloke.
Bhaktin Bhavadirnaisiti
Bhaktin
Bhaktim
Bhavati
Bhavati
Naisiti
Nirvantari.
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya
Krishnaya
Vasudevaya
Vasudevaya.
Devaki Nandanaya cha
Devaki
Devaki
Nandanayaka
Nandanaya.
Kumaraya
Nandagopa
Nandagopakumaraya
Kumaraya.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya
Govindaya
Namo
Namaha.
Namaha.
Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, text number 11, 2-4-11. The canto name is The Cosmic Manifestation and the chapter name is The Process of Creation. Please repeat the sloka behind me. Sūta uvāca
Sūta
Sūta
uvāca
Gosvāmī.
iti upāmantrito rājñā
iti
Iti
upāmantrito
Upadatta
rājñā
Rajan.
guṇa-anukathane hṛṣīkeśam
guṇānukathane
Harihi.
hṛṣīkeśam anusmṛtya
hṛṣīkeśam anusmṛtya
prativaktuṁ pracakrame.
prativaktuṁ pracakrame.
Word by word meaning, please repeat behind me. Sūta uvāca.
Sūta uvāca.
Sūta Gosvāmī said,
Sūta Gosvāmī said,
iti,
iti,
thus,
thus,
upāmantritaḥ,
upāmantritaḥ,
being requested,
being requested,
rājñā,
rājñā,
by the king,
by the king,
guṇa-anukathane,
guṇa-anukathane,
in describing the transcendental attributes of the Lord,
in describing the transcendental attributes of the Lord,
hareḥ,
hareḥ,
of the personality of Godhead,
of the personality of Godhead,
hṛṣīkeśam,
hṛṣīkeśam,
the master of senses,
the master of the senses,
anusmṛtya,
anusmṛtya,
properly remembering,
properly remembering,
prativaktuṁ,
prativaktum,
just to reply,
just to reply,
pracakrame,
pracakrame,
executed by preliminaries.
executed the preliminaries.
Translation and purport is Divya Savaya Charnavinda X. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Translation, please repeat behind me. Sūta Gosvāmī said,
Sūta Gosvāmī said,
when Śukadeva Gosvāmī was
Śukadeva Gosvāmī was
thus requested by the king
thus requested by the king
to describe the
the
creative energy of the personality of Godhead,
creative energy of the personality of Godhead,
he then systematically remembered the master of the senses,
remember the master of the senses,
Śrī Kṛṣṇa,
Śrī Kṛṣṇa,
and to reply properly, he spoke thus. Purport. The devotees of the Lord, while delivering speeches and describing the transcendental attribute of the Lord, do not think that they can do anything independently. They think that they can speak only what they are induced to speak by the Supreme Lord, the master of the senses. The senses of the individual being are not his own. The devotee knows that such senses belongs to the Supreme Lord and that they can be properly used when they are employed for the service of the Lord. The senses are instruments and elements are ingredients and endowed by the Lord. Therefore, whatever an individual can do, speak, see, etc., is under the direction of the Lord only. The Bhagavad-gītā 15.15 confirms this. Sarvasya cāhaṁ hṛdī sannivisto mattah smidhyānam apohanam cha. No one is free to act freely and independently, and as such, one should always seek the permission of the Lord to act or eat or speak. And by the blessing of the Lord, everything done by a devotee is beyond the principles of the four defects typical for the conditioned souls. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnanāñjana Shalakaya Chakchul Munidam Yana Tasmai Śrī Guruve Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharani Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashasha Deshadarni Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Śrī Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today's sloka, it is said by Sūta Gosvāmī. Okay. So, we need to remember the Bhagavatam spoken by Śukadeva Gosvāmī to Parikshit Maharaj in a different place. And prior to this discussion, in that meeting, Sūta Gosvāmī was there and he was also hearing the Bhagavatam from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. And that is already completed. Then the Sūta Gosvāmī is entering the Naimisharanya. There the Rishi Munis, they are doing the yajna for the welfare of the Kali Yuga people. So that time in that group, Sūta Gosvāmī was there. Then all of the rishis, they are selecting him to proceed over that meeting and to describe what he heard from Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So now Sūta Gosvāmī is explaining. So in the whatever we are discussing here, if you see the Bhagavatam, it is you need to closely you need to watch, because sometimes Sūta Gosvāmī will say, sometimes Śukadeva Gosvāmī will say, sometimes Parikshit Maharaj will say. So it is kind of multiple people will speak. So it is not a like continuous. It is not a systematically you cannot understand who is speaking. So you need to closely watch so that you can understand that now Sūta Gosvāmī is speaking about the what happened. So we discussed yesterday the Parikshit Maharaj, he was asking about how this creation happened to the Śukadeva Gosvāmī. So now Śukadeva Gosvāmī started describing that creative energy of the Lord. So for that, what he is doing, he is systematically remembering the master of the senses. Who is the master of the senses? Lord Krishna is the master of the senses. So first he has to remember the Lord, then he replying to Parikshit Maharaj. So that was Sūta Gosvāmī is saying that. So here in this word, we can say the hṛṣīkeśam. So Lord's own name is hṛṣīkeśam. So Lord has millions of names. There are many names. Lord don't want to directly call his own name. Lord wanted to identify his name in the different manner. Girivaradari. When we take the Govardhana hill on his finger, so his name became Girivaradari. And Nandanandan. So when he son of a Nanda Maharaja, his name became Nandanandan. Yashodanandan. When he was son of Yashodamanda, his name is Yashodanandan. Devakinandan. When he was son of Devaki, son of Devaki, he was Devakinandan. He was Madhusudana. When he killed the demon Madhu, his name became Madhusudana. And his name is Govinda. So he is giving the pleasure potency. He is giving the pleasure to the cows and the gopis, gopis. So that is the reason his name became Govinda. So like that, Lords, there are multiple names for the Lord. So in that, hṛṣīkeśam is also one of the names. So hṛṣīkeśam means it is the master of senses. So he is the controller of all the senses. So it is Lord himself is saying in Bhagavad-gītā 15.15. sarvasya cāhaṁ hṛdī sannivisto bhaktah smritirñānam apohanam ca vedaisya sarver agam yeva vedyo vedanta kritveda vidyeva cāhaṁ. So here Krishna is saying that I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of the Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. So here it is clearly Krishna is stating that he is the controller of the senses. How can you can understand? See, Lord is in the three places. We can understand the Lord is in the three forms. One is he is in the personal form. He is there in the Goloka Vrindavana, and he is impersonal form. He is everywhere as a Brahman, Para-Brahman. He is everywhere, each and every atom, everywhere. There is no place Lord is not there. He is everywhere. And there is Lord is specifically, he is seated as a Paramatma in the each and every living entities. So why he is sitting in the heart of each and every living entities? Lord is saying that I am seated in everyone's heart. So from here we can understand Paramatma is sitting in our heart. So prior to that, before reading Bhagavad-gītā, before having the knowledge, nobody aware of that. Okay, Paramatma also sitting. So we are thinking we initially we don't have the knowledge that we are different and this body is different. That is the first knowledge. Then after that, the next knowledge, what he is giving, along with you, I am also sitting in your heart. So if somebody is sitting in our heart, that third person or the other person, so somebody is sitting in our heart. So that means what will happen? What is happen? There is no secret within us, because the person who knows, who is there inside of the heart, he is overseeing whatever the activities we are doing. So nothing we can say that without knowing anybody, I did that. Nobody can say that, because Paramatma, he is sitting as in our heart, and he is overseeing, he is watching whatever the activities we are doing. So that is the reason we always need to, people used to say, whatever you are doing, Paramatma sitting in your heart. So you need to speak truth. You should not do abominable activities. All those things people are saying. And here Lord is saying that he is giving three things. Why? By the reason. Why he is sitting in our heart, he is giving the reason. From me come remembrance. So whatever we are remembering, the remembrance. So we are able to remember. See, once you wake up in the morning, we are able to remember, okay, this is my house, this is my family, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my kids, this is my father, this is my mother, this is my bike, this is my car. So how we are identifying? We are able to remember that this is mine. That's the reason this is our property, this and that. So we are able to remember that. That's the reason the remembrance is coming from the Lord. And the knowledge. So whatever the scientific knowledge, whatever we are inventing, whatever we are discovering, everything is knowledge also provided by the Lord. So we should not puff up individually, because we should not take the credit. Okay, it is I invented. The scientists are, they will say, I invented this medicine. I sent a missile to here. I prepared this Chandrayaan. Nobody can claim that, because that knowledge also coming from the Lord. The Lord is clearly stating here. So that knowledge, it is whatever the knowledge he is coming, it is provided by the Lord only. And also the forgetfulness. So whatever the things we are forgetting, something, because we forget many things we forget. So sometimes when we study in the schools, at time we have so many friends in the school friends, so many friends when we are studying in the college. So now we are not remembering all those friends. Whenever there is a their name comes, when we come across the discussion, then occasionally we are remembering them. But when we are in the college, when we are in the school, we are always remembering them. But when we come out from this, and when we are in the job, when we get into the family life, we forget all those things. So who is giving that forgetfulness? The Lord is giving the forgetfulness. Even though somebody died in our home, our grandparents, our parents, somebody died, then the intensity of when we lost on that particular day, the intensity will be more. But then slowly we will get into our activities, then we will forget that person. forget in the sense, our intensity will come down. So that means, that who is giving that all those remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness? Lord only is controlling that. So based on our karma, whatever the karma we did, so Lord is directing us as a Paramatma sitting in our heart, and He is giving this remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So when we are giving the remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness, based on that, we will act. So that's the reason, and that means our action is controlled by somebody. That person is a super soul. That is a Paramatma. So when devotees are when the devotees surrender to the Supreme Lord, then Lord take the full control of the senses of the devotees. Then that is the reason this name become hṛṣīkeśam. Because when Arjuna surrendered to Supreme Lord, when in the battlefield, that time he surrendered completely to the Lord. Then Lord took care of his senses and he gave the knowledge. He gave the knowledge, and he whatever the lamentation he had, he forgot that, and whatever the knowledge we provided, and he was able to remember these people are did something wrong to me. So all those things, Lord took care of the control of his devotee, and he was started fighting. Arjuna started fighting after hearing Lord's whatever the Lord's giving the knowledge to him. So this is the way Lord is the controller. Lord is as a super soul. He is sitting in our heart. So that's the reason Lord name is hṛṣīkeśam. So and also the Gosvāmī, we are some people we are calling them Gosvāmis. Some devotees we are calling them Gosvāmis. Go means senses, and Swami means who control over their senses. Those people are called Gosvāmis. So nowadays it is kind of a surname become Gosvāmi. So those are not Gosvāmis, but actually the Gosvāmis, the 6 Gosvāmis of Vrindavan we saw. So they are not at all attached to this material world, material things. They are always attached to, they are always thinking how can I satisfy my spiritual master Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and how can I serve Krishna? That is always their mood is like that. He left everything. They have millions of gold coins. So a lot of things they can enjoy. They have the knowledge also, but still they left everything. They dedicated the life for the religion ultimate, the Vrindavan, and spread the glories of the holy name of the Lord. So that is the way. That's why we are calling them as a Gosvāmī. Even Bhakti Vinod Thakur, we are calling him as a 7th Gosvāmī. Why we are calling him as a 7th Gosvāmī? Even though he was a family man, he had 10 children. He was worked as a magistrate during the British period. Still, he was, if you outwardly, if you see, he lived a materialistic life. But internally, if you go internally and if you understand the mood of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and what he did, so we are glorifying him, we are keeping him in his altar, we are worshipping him because he is the Acharya. Yes, that is the mood. So why we are discussing, because they are calling them Gosvāmis. And also in ISKCON, the sannyasis, we are calling them as the Maharajas. Maharajas means, generally in Maharaja means materially they have some area they need to take care. They have the kingdom and they have so much of wealth, and that person will call us Maharajas. But the sannyasis, why we are calling the sannyasis? They don't have anything. Even they don't have, some sannyasis, they don't have bank account also. They don't have not even a single penny. They have only the 2-3 set of clothes. They don't have any place on his own name. They don't have any bank account. They don't have money. They're nothing. They don't know. Next time what I'm going to eat. That also they don't know. So this is the way the sannyasis are living. They are fully dependent on the Lord, and they have always their mood is to serve the Lord. There is no other 24/7. They are always thinking about how can I please the Lord? How can I please my spiritual master? Because once we are pleasing the spiritual master, automatically the Lord will be pleased. So that is the reason their mood is always, how can I please my spiritual master? What is his instructions? I want to satisfy him. So they are thinking that this life is not enough. This Holiness Jayapada Swami Maharaj, he was, even though is 60% of his body is not working, body parts are not working, but still he's in the wheelchair. He's saying that last couple of months back he was in the ICU. So he was in the critical condition, and he was, but again victoriously he come out from that situation also. So he was saying that I won't die as early as possible. I mean, I won't go out of this body as early as possible, because my spiritual master instruction still I need to do some more. I need to do Yes, that is pending. So until unless the pending work is completed, I won't die. So that is the understanding. They have that kind of confidence that our spiritual master, whatever he told, so I have to complete that. So they are taking 24/7. That is their whole and soul. That is the only thing I have to serve. That is my life. Life and soul, they are working for that only, whatever the spiritual master told, irrespective of his body condition, irrespective of the weather, irrespective of the circumstances, they don't want to worry about anything. So that is the quality of the Maharajas. And also recently, our Bhaktivaktuṁ Gosvāmī Maharaj, His Holiness Bhaktivaktuṁ Gosvāmī Maharaj, he went to Russia. So last week he went to Russia. He was from Russia. It is any spiritual organization which they should not preach. So even though Maharaj was not preached, he just visited there. They arrested. They kept him in the jail. So he was. They see, even though he was glorified, he was a Maharajas in ISKCON. He was seeing his great personality in India. When so many people are giving the respect to him, but when he went to Russia, those people, they put him in a jail. Now he is in jail. So that is the way. Even though he is in the jail, he is not worried about that. So they say he's saying that this is my Lord's plan. I came here to execute my spiritual master's instructions. I'm not violating the rules of the country also. I'm not violating my spiritual master words also. That is my duty. I'm come over here and that is my duty. It is up to Krishna whether I wanted to be here, I want to go out. It is up to Krishna. It is Krishna is controlling me. I'm the controller. Krishna's wish. I need to be in the jail. So let me be in the jail. So that is the way he's accepting that, and he's energetic, he wanted to preach. So that is the quality of the pure devotees of the Lord. And one more devotee, during the initial days of Mayapur temple inauguration. So that time it was the Mayapur temple is the very small, there is no other buildings nearby. There are so many dacoits during that time. So Maharaj, he was there as a brahmachari, that they're taking care of the temple. So this dacoits came, they are trying to loot the temple. They want to take the deities. So this Maharaj, he went and covered the deities. The dacoits shoot him on his leg, and he lost his leg. So he lost his leg, but he was very happy. Yes, for the service of the Lord, for the instruction of the Prabhupada, I lost my leg. I don't have to worry about that. So I'm happy that I'm in the service of the Lord. I lost my leg. I'm happy about that. So that is the mood of the pure devotees of the Lord. So that's the reason we are calling them as Maharajas, because they are not working for their senses. They are trying to work. They are trying to satisfy the senses of the Supreme Lord. Yes, the spiritual master, his instruction is to satisfy the senses of the Supreme Lord. So they are just following the instructions of the spiritual master. That is the reason we are all calling them Maharajas. Why? Because they are all master of their senses. That's the reason we are calling them as Maharajas. So here in this sloka, it is stated hṛṣīkeśam. So since he is the master of all of our senses, Krishna is master of all of our senses, then we may come up with a doubt. Okay, if Krishna is master of all the senses, why the people are doing wrongdoers are there? There are many wrongdoings happening in this material world. People are violating 4 regulatory principles. All those things are happening. Why it is happening? So because their karma, and that soul, if they wanted to do that, they are willing that. So Lord he don't want to control anybody. We are under the control of the Lord, but still he has a little independent for us. So whatever we are feeling, whatever we are thinking, we are thinking that it is the correct way I am going. Okay, let it go. The Paramatma inside of our God, he will speak to us. So that when we are concentrating on him, then we can understand that how Paramatma will communicate with us. That's why we are chanting the holy name of the Lord. We are doing the devotional service. Why? We are to establish the connection between us and Paramatma. Yes, we lost the connection. So Paramatma is sitting in our heart, and he is giving the instruction to us. So when you closely watch the instruction, when you closely follow the instructions, then we should be able to get into the proper position. But when we are not hearing, see, suppose when we are doing some mistake, we know that by knowingly we are doing something wrong. Inside we will say that Manasachi. In Tamil we will say Manasachi. So it is inside inside somebody will say that, oh, don't do that, it is wrong. Somebody is saying that. Who will do that? It is Paramatma is saying that, don't do this. But still, we are work. If you have somebody doing that against the inside voice, then that they will get the result also. The karma will add it into that. Result also will get accordingly. So we need to hear the voice of Paramatma. So that is the reason we are trying to do the chanting the holy name of the Lord, doing the devotional activities, hearing the lectures, and hearing about the Lord, reading about the Lord. Why? All those things to understand that Lord is there inside of our heart, and we are also there along with Him, along with us. Lord is accompanying all 24/7. He is along with us, and even not only this birth, even many births He is coming, accompanying with us, because He is from Him. The three things are coming: knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. He is giving even the living, all the other living entities also, even the lower animals. For them also, the intelligence is given, provided by the Lord. All these things controlled by given by the Lord only. So that's the reason. Even the worm which is there in the stool, in that worm also, Lord is there along with them as a Paramatma. So that is the greatness of the Lord. He is accompanying all of the continuously. We took millions of birth, all the millions of birth. He is accompanying with us. Why He is accompanying with us? One day this soul will understand that I am the controller of his senses. So they will surrender unto me, and they will understand that, and they need to work for my sense gratification. We need to satisfy the sense. We need to work for satisfying the senses of the Lord, not to satisfy the senses of our senses. So currently we are all in that mood as, how can I satisfy my senses? So that is the reason because our senses are so much agitated. Our senses are uncontrollable. Even though if you see them, for animal senses are, they have one or two senses will be agitated for each and every animals. But for human, all the six senses are, it is always powerful. It is agitating always. So that is the reason it is very difficult for the human being to control their senses. So how can we control the senses? Because it is not possible to control our senses. We need to employ our senses from the lower taste to the higher taste. What is the lower taste? Whatever we are working for our sense gratification, that is the lower taste. When we turn our senses towards the Lord, and when we work for the Lord's senses, to satisfy the Lord's senses, that is the higher taste. So when we change from lower taste to higher taste, then our senses will be purified, and Lord will He will take the charge of take care of our senses. How Arjuna is initially he was thinking that he was in his own mood. He was thinking about one sense. Okay, how can I will be happy? And the sunshine will come to me. All those things he was thinking about himself only. When Lord gave the knowledge, after that he started fighting, because Lord took care of the senses. That's the reason Lord is called. We are calling here as hṛṣīkeśam. So we are also, see Ambarish Maharaj, why we are glorifying the Ambarish Maharaj? Because even he was a king, he employed all his senses only for the Lord's service. So that's the reason the Bhagavatam is glorifying even though he is a king, Bhagavatam is glorifying the Ambarish Maharaj still now, because he employed all his senses to service of the Lord. So that is the way. These are the examples in front of us. There are so many people, they lived a life in the exemplary way, and they attained the supreme position. Supreme position is go back to Godhead. So that is everything is provided in front of us. We just need to follow the footstep of our previous acharyas, so that automatically we will go back to Godhead. So for that, because of our senses, our agitation, we are unable to control our senses. Because of that, we are struggling over in this material world. So we need to engage our senses to the Lord. So that is the reason we can go back to Godhead. Also, whenever there is even though till now, whatever I spoke, it is not spoken by me. It is this knowledge also given by the Lord, given by the previous acharyas. So I'm not speaking. So whenever whatever we are reciting the mantras. So one time Prabhuji also, Devat Prabhu also asked why we need to recite all the mantras. So the reason is we are invoking, because I am not speaking, we are invoking all the acharyas, all the demigods, all the we are begging to our spiritual masters, all the acharyas, please help me, so that but I can speak something, so that the heart of the person who is hearing this the heart can change something. So that is the mood, the person who is delivering the classes. So even I'm not speaking, it is spoken by our previous acharyas, and Krishna is giving this knowledge and intelligence to me to giving that. So in that mode, we have to give the classes. And we should not think that independently, I know everything, I'm speaking. So I'm not speaking. It is spoken by our acharyas and Krishna. They are internally, they are controlling me and they are making me to speak. The similar way in this, so Sūta Gosvāmī is saying that Śukadeva Gosvāmī, when the Parikshit Maharaj asked about the creative energy, he is remembering the Supreme Lord. Systematically, he is remembering so that the knowledge can be come in front of him properly, so that he can deliver that to the king properly. That's the reason he was remembering the Lord. So that is the reason here in the sloka. So he started replying to Parikshit Maharaj. Śukadeva Gosvāmī started replying to Parikshit Maharaj. So Hare Krishna. So today's sloka, we are talking about hṛṣīkeśam. There is a topic. So why the Lord is called hṛṣīkeśam, and why we need to remember the Lord before we need to speak, and we need to always understand that our remembrance, forgetfulness, knowledge are controlled by the Lord. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.